Hi, I'm Deja Imani. Nice to meet you. I go by Dr. Deja Imani, which stands for Docs Rhythm Deja Imani. Docs Rhythm is about having soul, having love, and having care, and that is my persona that I've created for speaking about world issues, feminist issues, black issues. Looking down, I'm looking at my notes right here, and I just want to make sure that I stay on track as well as allow myself to just be free. You know? Yes. Okay, thank you for watching, tapping on this video. Please enjoy this video, and let's get into it. Feminism has a lot of different definitions, but the basic understanding of feminism is the belief in the social, political, and economic
equality of the sexes.
But as we know, our society is not as straightforward as that definition is. Because of that, feminism must also include women's intersectionalities. Basically, anything that is not heteronormative white, essentially. Abled body as well. So now that we've got into a bit of the definition of feminism and how it needs to also contribute to the intersectionalities women and people face, feminism is so complex. It's been around since like the 1820s. So we need to get feminism back up to speed with the 21st century, with 2026 and 2025, the past year, because women and people are so diverse and so different, but feminism is still lacking in its representation. This type of feminism addresses women's intersectionality, such as race, class, gender, sexuality, etc., like disabilities, that creates other types of discrimination that requires specific solutions. In the 21st century, the era of feminism becomes very blurred. This is because the usage of social media has grown, and much of the activism that would have been happening on the streets through rallies and marches are now happening within the digital sphere. And in the digital space, change happens socially, but does little politically and economically to make change. And that's why intersectional feminism is so important. Now, there was a lot of varying ideas when I was researching the third wave of feminism, because some claim that we're still in the third wave, but there's also others who claim that the third wave came and went, and we've experienced a fourth and a fifth wave to feminism because of how fast society has changed in such a short amount of time. I believe both viewpoints are right. Because there's been little change economically and politically, which is really the basis of movements. Movements and organizations are created to make change. We've seen it happen socially, and it's really important to get change economically and politically, because those are really the things that matter when it comes to changing people's lives. It can't really be stamped the end of an era because nothing really happened. But I can also see why people say that there has been a third wave, there's been a fourth wave, and we're like in the fifth wave or in the sixth wave. I don't know, I saw someone talking about the seventh wave, but we're past the third stage of feminism because so much has changed socially that to claim that feminism is entirely the same space as it was in 2000 or even 2010 or 2020, 2017 would be a complete lie. So I've just decided to, split the era, and there's a third era, but there's also an era 3.5 to account for the change that has happened socially, the amount of change that happens socially, but to also, bring awareness that there still hasn't been much political or economic change for women of varying sectionalities. Okay, now let's get into what I believe is the third era of feminism. This era happened between 1990 and around 2012-2013. This stage of feminism started to look outside of the binary, becoming more accepting of the LGBTQ plus IA community. Women during this era began to define what feminism is. I didn't put it in my notes here, but I want to mention this now because I know I definitely will forget. Feminism has turned into this era, in the third era, very independent, when other social groups cannot rely solely on independence to get change. This era of feminism wanted to do what the past feminist eras were not. It wanted to be more intersectional. So it chose to raise awareness and consciousness through social media. This era talked about violence against women, sexual liberation, reproductive rights for women, for all women, as in Planned Parenthood, and became about reclaiming discriminatory language. The usage of social media allowed access to women around the country of varying ages and backgrounds. And so minority women started creating their own feminist organizations that speak about their issues. While the third era expanded on social media and began to make change socially, again, there was no actual movement forward. White feminists still refuse to discuss intersectional issues in favor of white supremacy ideology. White feminists believe that it matters more for them to obtain rights first, so then it'd be easier for minority women to get rights. But we've all been in a history class. We've seen how trickle-down economics has worked. It doesn't work at all. If one group gets their rights, that doesn't mean that they will necessarily come back and raise their arm out to help us. It literally doesn't mean that at all. They could literally, and probably will literally, just walk away. As a Black American, I know white people, and a lot of them are selfish as hell. So no way on this earth would a trickle down rights ever work. Never. That will never work. Oh my gosh. So because in the third era, conflicts arose and there was too broad of a standing that prevented real change from happening. Typical. So in what I'm calling the 3.5 era of feminism, this one wasn't so great either at all. There was some good and there has been some good, but especially the mainstream side of feminism, it just wasn't good, and that's just the reality. So let me dive into this. So in era 3.5, feminism fell victim to social media's ability to water down important issues and turn them into trends for likes and views. So for mainstream feminism, it became a marketing tool to push products and services on women to gain profit. This caused feminism to become a mockery because it claimed empowerment through infantilization and hating men. That don't make no damn sense, because anyone can be a feminist. Yeah. Feminism is about getting equality politically, socially, economically between the sexes. So why would hating men give women rights? So if I see another I'm just a girl, or I hate my boyfriend, or it's so embarrassing to have a boyfriend, or I wish I was a lesbian post on social media, I'm gonna lose my marbles. And about the lesbian one, because that one is everywhere. All the time I see that. I see straight women like, oh my gosh, I wish I was into women. Oh my gosh, why'd I have to be born straight? All that type of stuff. Like, lesbians do not face horrible discrimination within their own community with the LGBTQ plus IA, and within women and by men. Like, what? Go fix your daddy issues and leave lesbians alone. It gets on my nerves because women and girls would rather be discriminated against in different ways than to be straight, which is a part of the norm. But again, it's about intersectionality, where you have privilege in being straight, but there's also oppression when you're dealing with men. And men who live in a patriarchal society, who sometimes have little respect for women. So I understand, but it's still frustrating. Lesbians specifically didn't get to choose who they love, but straight women do have the power to choose men who are feminists. Era 3.5 talked about sexual assault and harassment, body shaming, body positivity, as well as rape culture. In 2017, after Trump's first inauguration, women took to the streets in numerous states to advocate for women's rights against Trump's misogynistic policies. A few months later, the hashtag #MeToo, created by Tarana Burke in 2006, began to gain traction as sexual assault survivors found the courage to share their experiences within the world. To the world, my bad. This moment created space for other women as well as men to share their stories, to heal and get justice. During this era as well, the Black Lives Matter movement, created by Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi, sorry about the name butchering, created this movement in response to the murder of Trayvon Martin in 2013. And protests have happened in 2013, 2014, and a global protest in 2020 to advocate against police brutality and racial injustice. They demanded systematic change and justice for Black individuals. More recently, but also created in 2018, the Abolish ICE movement, which aims to eliminate ICE because of its dehumanizing detention and deporting policies. You probably wouldn't think that the last two issues that I just talked about are feminist issues. You wouldn't think that because mainstream feminism doesn't talk about it, doesn't care about it. But it is, because these movements not only talk about the discrimination that men face, but women are harmed by these systematic problems too. Like Breonna Taylor, like the little Black girls who are shot and killed by police for no reason. Like the women and children who have been deported by ICE and raped by ICE members. That's all feminism. It's a feminist issue. Again, these are movements that mainstream feminism refuses to acknowledge for their own sake. It's not for anyone else but keeping the peace. When this is America, there is no goddamn peace. So they rather make posts and write articles about how to rise in the corporate ladder, or this next product that will magically turn you into the ultimate final girl boss. But seriously, the reluctance mainstream feminism has to speak about the political and economic struggles of women damages the credibility of the movement and keeps women in danger. How's a movement about women's safety and uplifting women keep still putting women in danger? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, y'all. It doesn't. You know, a part of my theory about why mainstream feminism doesn't do any real activism is because it runs on corporate funding. And so white feminists, quote unquote, I would like to add feminists, are puppets just like our politicians. But again, like I've mentioned before, it's not lost on me that there has rarely ever been a time when the majority of white women cared about anyone but themselves. And when I say themselves, I mean white women who fit their beauty standards, who are blonde, skinny, thin, straight, cis, you know, all of those things. That is the only time you're accepted. So I want to say, and at least right now at this point in this video, like, my whole purpose is to not generalize white people, because there are some decent white people who believe that other people are human too. If you are white and you understand that, like, just the gist of it, like, then there's no way that you should be offended at all. But if you are offended, then that's actually a good thing, because it allows you to address and acknowledge why you feel that way and to overcome it. Intersectional feminism was created by Kimberly Crenshaw in the 1980s when she was writing to understand the unique experiences Black women have. In her writing, she mentioned how people have a mixture of identities that both give them privileges as well as oppression. And when I read this, I thought, oh my gosh, the white man has done a number on Black people, because they've put Black people into different hierarchies, even though we are all oppressed. Systematic racism got Black people all the way up. Not only is it based on race, class, gender, sexuality, disability, it's also skin tone, which further keeps Black people separated. In our current world, the most vulnerable people, Black and Indigenous women, women of color, trans and queer people, lower class people in both urban and rural areas, and people with disabilities are being affected the most with the amount of economic stress, regressing politics, climate change, and tech-driven discrimination that is happening in our world right now. If no one protects the vulnerable in our society, it means that no one is safe. I mean, look at the 2 white people that ICE murdered in broad daylight. It wasn't supposed to happen to them, and that's why there's so many people losing their minds right now. But when Keith Porter Jr., a Black man, or other Black people and children are murdered by ICE or by the police, it's just another day. But now that people are beginning to see that that ICE, the police, the government will only kill vulnerable people for so long until they realize the world doesn't care what happens to them, before they just start killing everyone and anyone. And that's literally what we see played out. What was it, last month when both of them were murdered? Some of these examples that I gave about intersectionality, well, I don't even know if I really gave examples, but I talked a lot about the problems of what has happened by feminism not being intersectional. But as you can see through the way that there are so many problems, intersectional feminism is so important for our society. I want to preface this again that anyone can be a feminism, because being a feminist is believing in equality for all. The majority of feminism must change its ideologies of who and what feminists are, because standing in a gray area is only causing more harm. I want to acknowledge that there are people who believe in and fight for intersectional feminism, and it opens doors for people like me to share my voice. So thank you. I know the work is long and tedious, but it is so important. And I'm ready to take on this challenge. I hope y'all are too. To address anyone who feels iffy about being a feminist or supporting feminism, understand that life as a woman in our society has never been easy. The goal of feminist intersectional feminism is to put in place social programs to create a better way of life for all people affected by our racist, discriminatory patriarchy of a government. Honestly, there's been little noise on getting these things going, but I believe in making change to our state of feminism, and I believe that change can happen. I believe we need to start lobbying again. I want to quickly add about lobbying. I know that it's not easy to lobby, and it does cost money and time to lobby, but a lot of people donate to organizations, so I don't see how there can't possibly also be a fund to lobby to make changes. That's my standpoint. I know it'll take time and it'll take resources like money, but I also believe that it can happen if someone pushes for it. Boycotting more items, rebuilding our trust in the community so that we can rely on each other for the things that we need. And for those who can, we need to march to our city halls, our state capitals, and demand change by demonstrations, blocking doors and parking lots, etc. I'm going to work to make this happen. I'm going to join forces with people to make this happen because it's something that we can do. So this is not just talk for me. This is real for me. Be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much for watching and sticking through to the end of this video. I really appreciate you. Have a good one. This is for me. This recording, this video, me speaking my words, my essay that I've written down in my notebook is for me. I'm not going to get caught up in other people's expectations or how they might view me or what my pauses or my messing up of words mean to anyone else, because this is for me. So I want to get comfortable, let my personality shine, and do its thing, because I'm fun. I'm a fun girl. So yeah, I have my fan on, but it's helping my lungs and my throat chakra, but my body chakra is cold chakra. I'm just like